Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on.
Hey, looky here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
In our parade of guest after guest after guest after guest, Rob Quillen is in studio. He's a repeat offender on our podcast. Rob,
That's true.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Two Robs within just a couple of days of each other.
However this falls, this is true. Rob McCartney was just
That's what I hear.
in that chair not long ago.
Yeah. I follow greatness.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's right.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me back.
Absolutely. So we were talking about travel stories.
Well, I was telling him that I'm leaving for my honeymoon in December. We're going on our honeymoon finally in December, and we're going to the Dominican. Well known.
The Dominican. That's like saying, we're gonna pop off and go talk to Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
We're gonna end
We'll be up at the
maybe
Hamptons.
I could have said the DR.
With
the DR is even for the
I
insiders.
have a friend of mine that says that, and I just want to poke her in the forehead when she does that. We just went down to the DR. I'm like, stop. Just stop.
I just got back from the CV. I was over in the Bluffs.
Over in the Bluffs.
That's right.
The Bluffs. So you can say that because that's local. You
Yeah,
can say
that's
the
true.
Bluffs.
People will get it. Yeah.
Right? Okay. So you were talking about going there, and then you
Well, we've been talking when we first booked it, and people were dying right and left over in the DR. People are trying to talk us out of going.
not talking to you. I just want you to be realistic and just keep your eyes open, keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah. Oh, and I always do.
You don't. You're
wear,
the most unaware person I've ever met.
That's not true. You know what? I always wear shoes in the car. I always have tennis shoes with me in case I have to run anywhere. So you tell me that's not prepared.
Having tennis shoes doesn't mean you can run.
I'm wearing tennis shoes now. I can't run 10 yards.
But if you had to, you're prepared.
That's true.
Oh my God.
So yeah, we're not scared. We're not. Rob was asking if we're nervous, and we're not.
Well,
we never were nervous. We were. If
You were never concerned?
If they kept happening, it was
an acceptable.
Well, if there was like,
Wow.
we all know what happened in the Dominican Republic with the alcohol was tainted and
Yep.
like 10 or 12 people lost their lives because of it. And if
Yeah.
that had been a pattern where still like last week,
I just think they're not
4 more.
reporting on it anymore.
I don't know. Well,
The tourism department shut it down.
Right? It's like we can't have that.
no.
We're losing
news.
money, folks. Stop it.
No news
Please
coming
stop.
out of the
We don't want
DR.
everybody to ban us or to protest and not. No, I'm not going to go there. So travel stories. You've been traveling a lot.
I have. Yes.
For more than a couple years.
Oh, yeah.
You've been traveling. Kind of a quick background.
Yep.
Why you travel? What are you doing?
I travel all over and give speeches regarding my books. So, in fact, as I was up late last night working on some plans for next year already. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, very
Good
excited.
for you.
Very excited. Yeah.
All right, so some travel horror stories.
Oh, I've got a ton.
What pops in your
I've got
head?
a ton. What kind of prompted this was Pat was talking about he couldn't wait to go to the DR, excuse me, and eat at Chili's, which
Because you had said, "Are you nervous?" And I'm like, "Well, we're not. We're going to stay on the resort. It's all inclusive. We're not going to the Clizub.
That's true.
I'll go down there. I'll eat a bloomin' onion every day if I have to stand. But it's far from that. But I
A
would do it.
bloomin' onion, and my response is, no, that's sacrilegious. You don't go that far and then eat a bloomin' onion.
So many years ago, my wife and I tell you how dumb I am. My wife and I were in the British Virgin Islands, which is amazingly beautiful. It's one of our top trips.
BVIs.
Yes.
The beady eyes.
BVIs,
yes.
British
BVIs.
Virgin Islands.
Oh, got it.
And one day there was a boat trip over to St. Thomas. So to go over and do some shopping and all this stuff. And we do some shopping, and there's a gigantic Hard Rock Cafe right on the water there. So we eat lunch, and the bill comes, and I pull out my American Express. And the waitress comes over and she goes, "Is everything all right?" And I go, Can I use an American Express here?" She goes, "Well, you're in America."
We're kind of part of it.
And I'm like, "All right, here you go."
Yes, I don't deserve lunch.
No. Whatever tip I left for you was not enough. It was not enough.
Well, we're in America.
And my wife was just sitting there shaking her head. Really?
It's like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah. So no, I've had a lot of interesting travel. That's for sure.
Everything from flights, airports in general,
horrible hotels.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be, and every time it's a crapshoot. You never know what
You
you're
just
gonna get.
don't know, which is why before you walked in the room, we were talking about I'm pretty married to the Hilton program, just because I know what I'm going to get. And
That's why he goes to Chili's when he goes
Yeah,
to the
exactly.
I know what I'm going to get.
he knows that the All American Burger is going to be
hell of a
ideal.
dipping sauce.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
So I've had recently. I was in a hotel room. I couldn't even tell you where. had a couple walk into my room.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
They had a key to your room even.
Yeah. Yeah. That was like, I was like, good morning.
So they were checking in?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
My dad's done that before. Walked into a room and
Yeah.
dude's sleeping.
Yeah.
Never woke up. Just turned around and walked.
Just around and walked
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
There's a dance to that. You
I'm
think about it,
sure.
about checking people in, checking people out.
Oh, of
There's a
course.
process that has to happen because it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
Where you
No.
cross
No, not.
paths. But
I've had the. I won't tell that story.
We'll wait till after the
Yeah.
pod.
Yeah.
is there another pod called After the Pod?
After the pod. When we hit the record button to turn it off.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I've had some.
Nick Baugh had a great story in his most recent
Oh,
episode
my
of his
God.
podcast of him at the airport. He was coming back from a game,
Yeah.
trying to get back, and one flight was delayed and getting into O'Hare, and he had like 3 minutes to get from one
is this
side.
his tweet that he ran all the way
Yes.
across the? Yeah,
Yes.
I saw that.
And
Yeah.
he said the only thing that he regrets, because he thank God after he got off Fox, took a suit off
Yeah.
and put on a like a athletic suit,
Yeah.
whatever,
A
sweatpants.
jumpsuit,
He
you
said
almost said it.
sweatpants,
He
but I don't
said-
know.
I
He
can't
said
picture
sweats.
Nick in a
Athletic.
matching sweat.
Matching velour.
Like a gangsta.
My mind went to my grandma, but gangster.
Whatever. And he said the only thing that he wishes he would have done different was stretch. He's like, because he was sore, and he's
yeah.
like, the next time I do it, when I'm waiting, because he had to wait for his bags that were gate checked.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was waiting there. He goes, I would have done some lunges, and some air jacks, something, because he
Stretch
was
it out just a little bit.
And he hasn't run that like straight
yeah.
for 7 minutes carrying something
No.
Ever.
since he was at Kansas.
I was going to say
Yeah.
that
Ever.
Yeah.
because he would. Yeah, I was going to say probably high school. That was the last time
Yeah.
you played football, right?
Right.
Because that'd be the only time you run carrying something.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember I was changing flights in Minneapolis, and my flight coming in was really, really late. So I knew my connection flight. The odds of me catching it were slim. And it was at the time. Remember when Doc Martens came out? You know,
Yeah.
they didn't have half size shoes, so I
Well,
wore.
and they were 18 pounds a shoe anyway. Doc
18
Martens
pounds
were
of shoe.
so heavy.
That's why my thighs look so good to this day. It was my
quads are on.
Your program, Doc Martin.
Yeah. So I wear 9.5 shoes, but they didn't have any 10s. So I bought these shoes right before I went on this trip, and I bought a 9. It was a tight fit, but I'll deal with it.
Oh my God, that sounds like something that a chick would do.
Yeah.
But they
I
were
want these
super
shoes.
cute.
They're
I was cool. Everybody's like, "You got the Docs?" Absolutely.
that's super cool.
So,
That's right.
but the more I walk on the back of my heels, I got gigantic blisters
Oh yeah.
that popped and were bleeding.
Oh.
So I get off my plane in Minneapolis, and I could feel the blood just oozing.
Oh my God.
And I could hear on the PA system, last call for Rob Quillen for flight 1234.
God.
And it's 47 gates away. And I looked at it and I go, well, not today.
Not happening.
There has to be another flight to Omaha at some point.
I thought this was going to be a heroic
No.
story of where you like
Kick off your shoes and just run
Right, where you-
barefoot.
No.
play with a broken arm. You're like, nah, coach, I'm out.
No. I just I quit. I quit.
That's it.
Yeah.
Turn in my card. I'm done.
no way.
I'm done.
So I can kind of relate to Nick's story, but not really.
But it can ruin missing one flight though. It can ruin your entire
The
trip.
whole trip.
So
Yes, it
there's so
can.
much pressure on you. Like if one flight's delayed, one leg is delayed,
Yeah.
to make it to that next one, because you could screw everything up.
It was funny because I was booking flights yesterday. I'm going from Omaha to St. Louis to San Francisco, starting on Sunday. And there was a flight out of Phoenix that was a little bit cheaper and would have saved ultimately about 4 hours of flying time. But when I clicked on it, fortunately for me, it kept flashing, be aware of the connection time, be aware of the connection time, be aware. I only had like a 17-minute window. I'm like, I'm not
Can't
doing
hit
that.
it.
So,
Not gonna do
no,
it.
no,
Can't hit
there's
it.
no.
Too close.
Yeah, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're on a ground hold for 20 minutes. You're done.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
It's true.
It's just not worth it.
When you land in the airports and your gate is the other, it never fails too. I
Oh.
mean, I think one of my most memorable experiences of that was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That airport
It's
is
huge.
like,
Huge.
oh my God, it's like landing in the old market and
Yeah.
you have to get to Elkhorn.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
about
And you're
right. That's a great
to
analogy.
catch and then it has the elevators that go sideways,
Yes.
which that was really cool. Not the tram; it's an elevator.
Yeah.
The trams
It's
are
cool.
a kick though. When you get into the trams, like
Yeah.
and some of the airports, I think Chicago is one of them. Has it?
DFW, or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, DFW has one, and Denver has one underground.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, yeah. Some of that they try, but it's like they've got to stay big because of the flights. Although there's less flights now, they say than there used to be.
I think that's accurate.
And so, that's why it's so hard to find flights
Yes.
because they've reduced the number of actual airplanes and
Yes.
flights that are available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still so far apart.
Yeah. When you're on that tight, because I'm the guy that has to know exactly, with the apps today, it tells you, hey, your flight is out at A5. So I'm
See, that's something you didn't
Yeah.
know when you were getting off the planes, even 10 years ago.
Oh no, you had no idea.
It was just run out the door, go
Yeah.
find the wall of flights,
Well, remember
and
they used
figure
to-
out where you had to go.
when you would land, or right before you land. Remember they used to announce it.
They would,
if you're
especially if it's
going
a
to
long way.
Chicago.
And if you missed it, you're like,
yeah, you're done.
Oh my God.
So I'm always the guy looking out the window, like, what gate are we arriving at? How fast do I really have to run?
Can I get a cart?
Yeah, exactly. Do I have enough time for a beer or not? No.
That's another one too. You get that long layover. It's like, where's the $8 beers?
Yeah, exactly. I love paying $14.50 for a warm Coors Light.
I heard somebody talking about horror stories of traveling, and this could happen anywhere. But I imagined like Epley, when you have the parking garage.
Yes.
There was in the parking garage, the spiral side where you come down,
Yeah.
a wreck,
Oh,
man.
no.
and nobody could get in and nobody could get out.
I mean, what do you even do? That's
What do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do?
It took hours to clear.
Oh, I would imagine.
You have to clear everybody out from the bottom up.
Yeah.
In order to even get to the wreck.
Oh, my
so you could clear the cars out.
no.
Nobody hurt, but the cars were disabled. And they couldn't
At that
go in.
point, I would hope somebody was hurt.
Or somebody you go down to the wreck. Who caused this?
Yeah.
Because if you're not hurt, you're about ready to
Yeah,
be.
you're about ready to get hurt.
You're about ready to get hurt, so we can get some emergency action going right now.
Exactly.
Make it
This is
worth it.
ridiculous.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hopefully, too, if the weather holds, that's always the risk with the Omaha travel.
You just don't know.
Yeah, when you leave, it might be super, and it's as we speak on this date, it's like in the 50s, right?
Beautiful out
And then it could be 2 by the
just
time you
don't-
come back
you
in a
just don't-
blizzard
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, you just don't
This
know.
is true.
Kugler Vision, proud supporter, maybe, hopefully they're a proud supporter of our Pat and JT podcast, but they are one nonetheless.
They are, and we're proud to have them as a
That's
supporter.
very
Don't want to
true.
necessarily put words in their mouth.
That's true.
You realize what's coming up, don't you? The New Year's, and then we're going to be in what year?
2020.
This is it for Kugler Vision. We're in the year of 2020. So now is the perfect time to make your move. There are several reasons. We're going to go down the list for you. Let's start off with just having glasses in general in the winter, fogging up. Your contacts are so much drier in the winter. And that's miserable.
Everything's
as well.
drier in the winter, especially your eyes.
Right?
Yeah.
So this would be a great time to make that appointment, get that consultation in there and find out what it is that can be done to correct your vision so you can toss the glasses or toss the contacts.
And how about going into 2020, seeing as close to 2020 as you possibly can?
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That'd
What a
be
great
pretty
gift.
fantastic, right?
That would be an awesome gift. Plus, guys, before the end of the year, don't forget if you have either account, either the FSA or HSA, which is the flexible spending, or I think it's a health spending account, right? Either one. If you save for things like this and you're like, what am I going to spend this on? I've saved up some money. You've got some that's in there. They have the promotion that they're doing right now. They're giving you 2 times the dollars.
That doesn't, and this is the time
Right?
of year when you look at that, you're thinking, this money's good. You use
You
it
use
or
it or
lose
lose it.
Yeah,
That's
so don't
it.
lose it, and especially if they're going to double it.
Double it. My gosh, yes, take advantage of that. And time is running out. We know that the calendar says so, but not only that, things get hectic because people have those FSA and HSA accounts and they're all of a sudden wanting to cash them in. And so spots are limited.
So do it.
Just get that
now.
appointment. Get online. They have a scheduler right online. And not only that, after you make that appointment, they're going to ask you a few questions so they know a little bit about you. One of the questions is, where did you hear about Kugler Vision?
You're hearing it right now on the Pat and JT podcast. But
Please
Pat and
let
JT
them
podcast,
know.
it helps them. It helps us.
It helps us. It really
helps them.
does because we want them to know that you're our listener and that you've been with us. And believe me, they will take really good care of you.
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm. So KuglerVision.com.
I had an update for you.
All right.
A story that I talked about not long ago
Okay.
about my trash can.
Oh, yeah.
My trash can disappeared
Okay.
And you ended up getting a new one. Did
I
you
got a
did
new
the
one.
old one come home like on that movie?
in my driveway.
It came home on your drive. Your old one came home.
I got home.
Is it like a cat?
It was
You
sitting
just
in
noticed?
my driveway, in the middle of my driveway, not all the way up to the house, mind you.
And you know it was your old one for sure.
Oh, come on.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, I'm like,
Well, she has.
wait a minute. And
she
I
has it
called
painted.
and they right? It was not my trash day. It just, there it was. I assume it is. So now I have 2.
Did
So-
you call the trash company? Maybe they got their wires? Because I would think that's messed up. That's
It's not,
weird.
it's not like when they deliver the new one, they're always clean.
This one wasn't clean.
Nope.
Like it had lived on
There's
the
still stuff in
on
it.
the mean streets.
Right,
for
it
a
was on the
while.
mean streets for a while. It'd been violated. I'm sure it's been sleeping on its side in the gutter. But
What?
Had to do the walk of shame home. It's
Apparently,
So do you think maybe one of your neighbors accidentally, like
maybe and just
something,
didn't say, but
or maybe they had house sitting and somebody drug it in accidentally, and I mean that's weird.
I know one thing. Like, if I, on a windy day, we're talking about the weather in Nebraska.
Yeah.
If I gain a trash can, it's
ain't
mine.
It ain't going back.
It's mine.
Wild West, right? I hear you.
Yeah. At one point, I had like 17 garbage cans.
Oh my God.
On some windy days, if you live on the end of the right
100%,
street,
yeah.
you're gonna
In
have
the
those
vortex.
plastic recyclable totes,
Yes.
a whole bunch.
They all land in the yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was when this happened, I was like, well, somebody, if you stole a trash can and it's got the name of the company on the side of it,
Yeah.
and you started to use it,
Yeah.
the company would pick up your trash. Because I think they have a list of homes they don't go to, or you know what I mean? It's like I don't think they have the list of where they go because they just, you know what I mean? If they see their trash can sitting out there, they'd use it.
Well,
And
I know
just-
that I've had my trash can out there before, and I have a transitioning point when I was moving out of one house to another, and the company didn't just pick it up because they knew not to pick it up at my house because I hadn't paid because I wasn't living really there anymore. I hadn't paid, but I did have
Well,
trash.
they probably knew you hadn't paid.
Yeah,
And they probably
I
had
mean,
that list
yeah.
up there that says,
Yeah,
don't
so-
stop at his house because he didn't
he
pay.
hasn't paid.
But if there is no
I
warning,
think that's the true story there, Pat. You just
you
didn't pay your
didn't
garbage.
pay. They're like,
I
don't
was hoping they would
stop at
just take
Pat's
that.
house.
Right, he hasn't paid.
They drive by, they throw more garbage at him. Pay your bill.
So I don't know. I guess I'll call him and have him come get it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, before you start getting double billed or something.
It's a good thing we're not neighbors. You would not have gotten that
When they
back.
got it back. Sorry, it's out of here. And I checked out, there's only 3 other people in my circle
Yeah.
that use the same company I do.
Yeah.
Because we don't use the city. And actually there's 2 others that don't use the city that use another company.
Is that going to change?
I know that whole conversation,
Yeah.
that's been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
Trying to get that figured out, the new contract for the
Yeah, for the new girl.
That's a lot of money.
When we lived in Phoenix, that's what it was. They provided you the 2 big, huge garbage cans. And
Yeah.
if you had extra,
I actually remember
yeah,
that.
and if you had extra bags, save it till next time.
That's what we're in SID. We're outside of the city limits,
Yeah.
and our trash is paid for.
Yeah.
But you can't have anything outside of the box. You got to say we have bags of leaves that every week we got to dump more leaves into these trash.
Who pays for your trash?
Our SID. We don't have to. So
Our SID didn't. Yeah,
I
we
live in a better SID.
Wow.
whatever. But now
Ours is richer.
we got annexed. Now we're in the city.
Lucky.
And so we were supposed to switch to the city, and I was like, nope. They kind of annoyed me a couple of times.
The good news
So
about
because they
that-
didn't dump out. Well, that was one of them. They didn't dump out all my trash out of my trash can. It was one of those lazy dumps.
That's got to be the name of this podcast. It's just another lazy dump.
Let's put Rob on.
But I happened to be watching, and I was like, and prior to that, what had happened was, and I guess you can do this, but I had thrown away some things, some clothes,
Yeah.
and they were clothes that had been, let's just say, too close to a cat. And they were in the garage, and the cat had made it kind of like its bathroom.
I'm with
Let's
you.
just
Yeah.
put it that
Oh,
way.
got it.
I didn't get there fast enough,
Right?
but I got there.
Yeah, so it was like in the trash. See you later.
Yeah.
And they took the coat out that was in the trash. And I
Really?
was like, well,
They
I'm
took
sorry.
the coat out that was in the trash.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So then I switched.
Yeah,
So
like it's trash.
Everybody's definition of garbage apparently is different.
right, exactly right. But I will say that the people that I do use, I really like them. They're super good. And if you give them a call, if you have something unusual, okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. We'll let them know. Go ahead and just put it out there. Like I have to get rid of my mailbox that's still sitting in my garage.
Oh, hey, I saw a good little hack for you this week. I should have saved it on Facebook. Somebody, might have been Rodney, maybe, retweeted or reposted a picture of somebody that had their
Vandalized.
their-
My mailbox got vandalized. Snapped at the base.
got mowed down.
Probably the
But
same
this-
people
this-
that stole your garbage can.
Right? It was within like 2 weeks of each other.
just
Little does she know she has some beef with some organized crime unit.
I didn't know I
and
did.
she didn't even know probably. And they're like, she is the bravest person. They're sitting at this meeting around a smoky pool table. Like, we're done with her. She's the bravest person I've ever
Send
met.
her a
We're
couple
out.
messages. First of all, we're going to take her garbage can.
Yeah.
Okay. The second thing, she didn't get the message. We're going to hack down the mailbox.
Go for the mailbox.
And she's still standing.
We've been sneaking in her house for years, scratching her face at night. Doesn't bother. And then all this.
Put the
she's-
claw marks on the back of the wall.
Yeah.
We're done.
We're done.
I'm
She
still
wins.
there.
You can't intimidate this woman.
I ain't leaving. I'm sorry.
That is great.
Anyway, you were saying
I don't even remember because that was funny. What was
you were
it?
talking about Rodney.
You're talking about,
Oh,
yeah.
Post.
Yeah, he had he showed somebody that had there was a rural mailbox that had been hit with baseball bats a few times. So the person they took new mailbox, laid it kind of standing straight up,
Yeah.
and put a cylinder kind of in the
saw
middle
this.
for,
Yes.
for letters and filled the outside of it with concrete all the way up.
Probably about
so
4 inches thick.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
sunk it in the ground and. I'm sure that the report on that if somebody hit it with another baseball bat, that
Because you
wasn't
know
fun.
that was the thing, driving down country roads, throwing things at signs, or the vandals going after hitting as they drive by.
Is that what you used to do?
I didn't do that.
I used to throw stuff at signs all the time.
You know what we used to do? I grew up in a little tiny town out in California, and literally the roads were Road A, Road B.
Yes.
Like I grew up on Road D. I'm not even kidding. So we would.
Well, we live north of Ashland. My dad has, I think he still does, has a pasture up there that they use for hay. And anyway, it's right on the corner, I think, of F and R. It's F and something,
Yeah.
and that's the joke because it's on F and whatever.
Anywho, so we would go out late at night and change the road signs. So if it was Road A, it was now Road Z.
You're a rebel. That's
Right?
actually really brilliant. I never really thought about that.
But my buddies and I, after a while, were like, nobody comes to this town, so nobody's going to get confused.
The people that live there don't use the signs.
They are looking at the road sign. Is that our? Yeah, we've been here 17 years. That's our sign. After a while, we're like,
That's not it.
Good idea, but your buddies are totally right.
yeah. After a while, we're like, we got to come up with a new hobby.
Missed the mark, man. Missed
Throwing
the mark.
stuff at signs. This sounds so stupid, but throwing stuff at signs is so fun.
course.
And also shooting in the ditch is fun. We shot in the ditch when we were out at my parents a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Took our little chipmunk 22s down the road and just shot water. See, city folks, you don't know what you're missing.
Wow.
Yeah, and you got on me because I say warsh.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
right.
say it anymore.
That's right.
But
You
I
said,
did.
You said a word that I can't say a little while ago.
What's that?
I can't say rural.
Rural.
I can't,
rural?
I can't say that word.
Really?
Yeah.
Country folk.
That's why I don't. That's why I don't incorporate it into my speech.
Rural.
I can't.
I'm from the country. Not
Nothing
rural.
wrong with that.
I'm from a country town, not a rural
Hey,
town.
speaking of shooting into ditches, so
Yeah.
I grew up like I said, in California. Grew up on a vineyard, and we had a huge rattlesnake problem.
Oh my God.
How fun is that?
Yeah. So my buddies and I would go out with our 22s in the summer, and we would shoot rattlesnakes. Okay. So this was unfortunately my brilliant idea. So we killed this rattlesnake, and of course you got to play with it. Why wouldn't you play with a rattlesnake when it's
Right.
You
dead,
got to
right?
save the rattle too.
Right.
So I came up with this idea. I thought it'd be really, really cool to coil the snake up and put it into the mailbox.
Oh,
And
wow.
we put a stick in its mouth so the mouth was open, and I knew that the mailman was coming.
I like you more and more, Rob. That's brilliant.
oh my God.
So my buddies and I hid behind the tree. Here comes the mailman, opens up the mailbox. Mail goes flying straight up in the air. Scares the crap out of
Yeah,
us. Right?
for sure.
And we're laughing. We think it's the greatest joke ever until he gets out, picks up the mail, puts it in drive. We have this really long driveway. He turns right in, comes right down the driveway.
Uh-oh.
My buddies are scattering like fleas when you turn the lights on, right?
Yeah, there goes to my ride or die.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah, right.
pasture.
So I walk up to the house, and the mailman's this, and my dad is like, "Where is he? Where?"
Oh.
My dad was so mad. And I'm like, but my buddy's like, your buddies, you're the only one standing here, brother.
I don't see any buddies.
Again, why you always wear tennis shoes.
Yes.
In case you got to run.
Came full circle on
See
that,
what I
didn't we? We came full circle
See,
on
you
that.
can take any situation back to the point where, oh, blank, I got to get out
I
of
got to
here.
run.
I wish I had the tennis shoes on.
That's right.
Instead of these undersized Doc Martens.
Right.
Talk about running. That's funny though. That when you go back to Nick when he said he doesn't remember the last time that he ran, let alone carrying something.
Right.
Running, carrying something. There is a point where you just don't run anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you're not an exerciser runner, you just don't run.
No.
And even if you do, I would say too that outside of running for exercise,
you don't run.
You don't run.
I don't need to get anywhere that fast. I mean, really don't, unless there's like a life and death or I got
Yeah.
it's like something's on fire.
I can get there a lot faster in my car.
Yeah. Right?
I need to go somewhere. Yeah.
I've been known to take my car to go get the mail, and
Yeah.
it's right down there
Yeah.
at the end of the block.
No shame
It's
in
not
my
that
game.
far.
Me
Nope.
too.
No.
It's right.
No.
Oh my God, Rob! Thank you for coming in. What
Anytime.
anything on
You're the
your
man.
schedule? What's going on?
Heading to St. Louis Sunday and then out to San Francisco for a few days, and I'm shutting it down for the year.
I want to go to San Francisco sometime. I'm going to. We've talked about this before.
You missed
There's-
it. You missed the peak.
Did I really?
That's bad.
See, that's what I've heard, and I hate that because I heard the town itself is just a mess.
It is.
And I want to see Alcatraz, the bridge, and I
Yeah.
want to go see the Windsor House.
Yeah, so
Those are the things I
tours,
wanna
the
go
tourist areas are fine.
Winchester House,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Winchester, anywhere you're going. The tourist areas are okay, but you go downtown, it's
And that's where you want to stay because you want to stay down, like down
Well, of
around Fisherman's
course.
Wharf or
You wanna catch
somewhere around
cable
there.
car?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
that's bad.
I want to go there and I want to see the sequoias.
Yeah, I would love to see those.
Sequoias or redwoods?
I think the sequoias.
Oh yeah,
Aren't they the same thing?
No.
I'll be damned.
Is there some like right there on the island that when you go across the bridge, there's like
on Golden Gate Bridge.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
As soon as you go
there's-
over onto
That's sequoias, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They're both big
sequoias.
trees, though, right?
they're both really old.
Okay.
Yeah, they're big and
All
old.
right, I just want to make sure I wasn't like talking about a bird and you're talking about a tree.
Referencing a previous podcast. Pick up a book, man.
It's Google.com.
Yeah, wait for the movie.
Rob, thank
Rob
you.
Quillen,
What's
thank
your
you.
website?
It's being rebuilt right now, but it's robquillen.com.
Okay, and I'll find you on social media. Everywhere.
course.
All right, you're the
Oh
man.
my God.
Thank you. And you can find us. We're PatandJT.com, 402-403-9478. And it's Pat and JT everywhere, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Parkville Media Production.